I absolutely love the summer season. It's filled with family vacations and days at the beach and trips to the lakes and delicious barbecues. It's also summer camp season. Summer camp was just a time of fun, outdoor games and awkwardness and meeting new friends and sometimes summer love. And no movie takes us back to summer camp quite like 1979's Meatballs, starring Bill Murray in his first leading role, one that he didn't even want to do. So let's get into it. What's happening out there, everybody? Thanks for stopping by the channel. I'm Anthony DeJoya. This is Movies Never Say Die, your one-stop shop for retro reviews. And today I'm talking about the summer classic Meatballs. This movie was directed by Ivan Reitman in what would be his first big studio film. And like I said, it was also SNL star Bill Murray's first leading role. Here, Bill Murray plays Tripper Harrison, the charismatic and free-spirited camp counselor who's going to lead a group of other counselors in training over at Camp North Star for the summer. Harrison and his team are going to look over a group of ragtag kids that are going to form a competition with the rich kids over at Camp Mohawk across the lake, resulting in plenty of comical hijinks and coming-of-age subplots and practical jokes that can take you on a great ride of nostalgia and childhood innocence and sexual enlightenment, all set to a relentlessly catchy theme song. Now, Meatballs often gets compared to or related with Animal House from the year earlier, primarily because of the often juvenile humor and the adolescent settings. Harold Ramis was also on the writing teams for each of these movies, but they are very different films, and Meatballs is certainly much more family-friendly than Animal House. This movie certainly does have its lining of sexual innuendo and spots of crude humor, but it's far from the delightful raunch fest that is Animal House. I think both are great films. Both definitely do have similar themes, but they definitely do serve different audiences. John Landis was actually wanted as the director of this film because of his work on Animal House, but due to scheduling conflicts with Landis's other project, The Blues Brothers, that was close to production, Ivan Reitman, who was actually the producer for Meatballs, stepped in to direct this movie himself.
That's incredible.
What do you expect for $1,000 a week? Hey, you have a good summer too, huh?
Ivan Reitman had always wanted Bill Murray for the lead, who at the time hadn't done a movie yet. Reitman knew that Murray and Harold Ramis had a friendship, so he had Ramis reach out to him initially. Murray wasn't really interested. His SNL castmate and friend John Belushi convinced him to reconsider and maybe take the part, and pointed out that he'd get to be the leading star in his first movie, and that was a concept that worked out nicely for Belushi when he starred in Animal House. Murray did seem interested, but Reitman wasn't still completely sure Murray would take the role until he strolled onto the set on Ontario, Canada on the third day of filming, and I'm sure there was just a collective sigh of relief. I mean, it was certainly a different time in movie making when you would begin production on a film without even having your star cemented.
I hope I don't let you down, Tripper.
You won't. Let's go get laid before the race.
So despite all the stress early on, Murray was there, he was committed, and he delivered a comedic masterclass of a performance, and I think he looks so at home in front of the camera as he carries this small little summer camp comedy on his shoulders. And this would also be the first of 4 collaborations between Reitman, Ramis, and Murray, the others being Stripes in 1981 and of course Ghostbusters 1 and 2. Meatballs went into production. It was filmed on location at Camp White Pine in Haliburton, Ontario from August to September of 1978. It was given a reported budget of around $1.6 million. Many of the extras seen in the film are actual campers and counselors because there were real summer camps going on during the filming. The quick production went relatively smooth, and to everybody's surprise, audiences really embraced this movie. Meatballs would open in just 7 theaters in Toronto, but would gross over $105,000 in just 4 days. It would then open in New York in 93 theaters and gross $1.5 million for the week to take the number 5 place at the US box office. Meatballs would be the first Canadian movie to gross more than $2.5 million in Canada, and with a final tally of $4.2 million, it would become the country's highest grossing film of all time. It would also be the highest grossing Canadian film in the US at the time, with a combined gross of $43 million between US and Canada, and worldwide this little summer camp movie would pull in around $70 million.
I'm looking forward to some action this summer. I hope you and your gentleman can supply it for me.
Well, I could supply you, but the guy you gotta watch out for is Spaz.
Spaz?
He's a sex machine.
Now, what Meatballs delivers that really serves a wider audience so well is its blend of timeless comedy and a heartfelt undercurrent fed from the subplot of Murray's tripper taking young Rudy under his wing. Rudy's a lonely kid whose mom died a year earlier that's been sent to camp for the summer by his father, and this friendship between Tripper and Rudy feels nice and sincere and nicely woven into the fabric of the story. The chemistry between Murray and Makepeace is both heartwarming and also very humorous when needed. So when you take that genuine emotional core and you lace it with practical jokes and comical dialogue and humorous adolescent themed innuendo, the result is a charming summer camp movie that you can revisit each year if you want to.
Bye-bye, Rudy. You did real good.
Thanks.
You coming back next year?
Yeah, for sure.
But there is no denying that Bill Murray is the driving force of Meatballs. The writing overall is well crafted, but Murray's improv and just riffing off the moment results in so many hilarious moments. He reportedly brought his own wardrobe, using a lot of his own clothes for many of the scenes, and you can tell when he's just shooting off the hip, and it's frequently comical as he has so many memorable moments in this movie. I think his opening sequence, waking up the camp from his intercom, just sets the tone for this story and who his character is perfectly. I think he masterfully delivers a just hilarious monologue to a news reporter. His campfire story is just perfect Murray timing, and his absolutely unhinged pep talk is just an iconic moment in 70s and early 80s cinema without a doubt. You can tell this scene isn't written. Murray dives headfirst into it, and it's comedic gold.
Would still go out with the guys from Mohawk because they got all the money. It just doesn't matter if we win or we lose. It just doesn't matter.
So I don't think anybody would deny that in his first leading performance, Bill Murray delivered like a pro, and I think his scenes with Makepeace are able to give this movie the heart that glues everything together. But there's more than that. Outside of the effective humor, the surface level sexual coming of age moments, and the amusing characters is a lot of amazing music and tons of fun camp competitions. We get a little bit of basketball, some swimming, some baseball, hot dog eating contests, and a lot of other games to inject Meatballs with a lot of fun-loving action and many more funny scenarios. I think Meatballs takes all of this and blends it together into a short runtime to deliver an easily engaging ride of summer camp hijinks with a well-crafted, sentimental closing. So I'm going to give 1979's Meatballs a well-earned A. And that's it for today, guys. This has been my look back at 1979's Meatballs. It's still an effective comedy. I think it's still one of Murray's most comical performances. Let me know if you've seen this movie down in the comments, and let me know what some of your favorite Bill Murray movies are. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Thank you for watching once again, and until the next video, movies never say die.
This is Jack Burton in the Pork Chop Express, and I'm talking to whoever's listening out there.
Survive a war, you gotta become war.
I suppose we have to register you as a lethal weapon.
You trying to say Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball?